All right, so today we're going to do Section 2, which is solving two-step equations, and the objective today is to solve two-step equations. When you're solving two-step equations, you need to use the addition or subtraction property of equality to get the term with a variable alone on one side of the equation. And then you're going to use the multiplication or division property of equality to write an equivalent equation in which the variable has a coefficient of 1. So the first step is to always undo addition and subtraction first, and then the second step is to always undo your multiplication and division second. So to solve this two-step equation here, first of all, if you look, here's my variable, and so this right here is my term with my variable. And so with that, we don't want to get rid of that first. We want to actually leave that there and get rid of the other term on the same side of the equation. So if you look, this 2y here is subtracting 3. So what we're going to do is we're going to add 3 to both sides first. Remember, we can cross this out because it's equal to 0. It's like minus 3 plus 3, negative 3 plus 3. So then you have the 7 plus 3, which is 10. And then I still have my 2y. Now what we have here is just a one-step equation. We still want to get this y by itself, and so what we're going to do here is we're going to divide by 2. This crosses out because it's equal to 1, and what I have left here is y is equal to, well, 10 divided by 2 is 5. We can substitute this back into our equation to check to make sure that we did it correctly. 7 is equal to 2 times 5 minus 3. 7 is equal to 10 minus 3. Well, 7 is equal to 7, so it checks out here. So if you look at B, the first thing you want to do is identify the term that has both the coefficient and the variable, which is a 6a, and then what we want to do is get rid of the other term first. Well, we're adding 2, so to get rid of it, we have to subtract 2 on both sides. That will cross out because it's equal to 0. And now I have left 6a is equal to negative 10 because it's negative 8 minus 2. From there, to get our a by itself, we have to divide by 6. So what I'm going to have here is a is equal to, I have negative 10 divided by 6. That's equal to negative, well, 6 goes into 10 one time with 4 left over. But that can be simplified down to negative 1 and 2/3. So that is what a is equal to. And I could substitute that back in to check that out. If you look at C, this one's a little bit different, but this right here is the term with the variable in it. So that's what we want to get by itself first. In order to do that, we're subtracting 15, so what we want to do is add 15 to both sides. That crosses out. So I'm left with x over 9 is equal to 27. And with this, in order to get x by itself right now, it's being divided by 9. So we're going to multiply by 9 on both sides. That crosses out. And I'm going to have x is equal to, well, 27 times 9, that's 63. And then 18 plus 4 is 24, so 243. So you always have to undo the addition or subtraction first, and then multiply or divide to get that term by itself. So if we look at an example, it says your problem-solving example. It says you are ordering tulip bulbs from a flower catalog. One bulb costs 60 cents plus $3 shipping. You have $14 to spend. Again, it says write and solve an equation to find the number of bulbs you can order. So what I know is that one bulb costs 60 cents plus this $3 shipping. And I'm going to assume that the shipping is $3 for any number of bulbs that you buy. It's not per bulb, it's just a $3 like flat shipping fee. So if I let n represent the number of bulbs I'm going to buy, I'm going to have this 0.60, which is my 60 cents, times n, plus my $3. That right there would represent the total cost. Well, now I'm going to set that equal to $14 because I have $14 to spend. So now what we want to do is go through and solve for our n. There's the term with my variable. And so what I want to do is subtract 3 from both sides first. Oops, sorry. That's going to cross out because it's 0. And then what I'm left with is my 0.60n is equal to $11. I'm going to divide by my 60 cents to get n equals, let me grab my calculator here. If I do 11 divided by 0.60, basically what it comes down to is 18.33 repeating. And so with that, if it's asking me, write and solve an equation to find the number of bulbs you can order, I can order 18 bulbs. I can't order 19 because I would run out of money. Here's an example where we have this negative sign out in front of our variable. And the one big thing that we have to remember is that, remember if there's no number out in front, it means that there's a 1 there. So it's really saying like negative 1x plus 7 equals 12. And so we want to get this term by itself, so what we're going to do first is subtract 7 on both sides. So now I have negative 1x is equal to 5. And then what I want to do is, again, still get this x by itself, and to get rid of this negative 1, I'm going to divide by negative 1. Or technically what you could do here is multiply by negative 1, because negative 1 times negative 1 is also 1. Either way, I'm going to end up with negative 5 here for an answer. So just to kind of show you, because it does say multiplying by negative 1 here, in order to get rid of this, what I could do is multiply by negative 1, because that would just equal 1, which is the same thing as just saying x. And I'm going to get the same answer. So if you look at this example right here, I want to start by getting my a by itself. So what I'm going to do is add a to both sides, add 5 to both sides. That's going to cross out. Now I have this negative a is equal to, well, negative 8 plus 5 is negative 3. And then you can think of this as multiplying by negative 1 or dividing by negative 1. Either way, whatever you're most comfortable with. That's going to cross out that negative sign, so I'm going to have a is equal to a positive 3. So that's it. This is solving two-step equations. So it's just important that you remember to, I don't know why that's following me, but it's just important that you undo the addition and subtraction first, and then undo your multiplication and division.